So I just want to talk openly and honestly about how I've been feeling about YouTube and, show you guys a little behind the scenes into what I'm thinking here and some thoughts for the future. But this is not like a typical video. Usually lately I've been trying so hard to, in the beginning, tell you exactly the value you're going to get out of the video and, try to talk fast and try to hit all the points and try to be refined rather than just kind of talking normally. And that's kind of the problem is that, I used to do this raw format of just vlogging, and I would just pick up the camera and I would just talk as if there's a person on the other end, which is the way I always wanted it to be. And over time, as my channel got stuck and wasn't growing as much, I started trying the other side. And even back then, I was always asking you guys, should I do the sit down and talk to the camera or should I do the vlog stuff? And it was always like 50-50. Lately, I've shifted completely towards the other end. It's a little bit easier to make. It's a little bit easier to just, sit down and talk rather than try to figure out my entire life into a video. But I think that the sit down format has also made it so much less personal and has made me just not talk like myself a lot of the time. I mean, maybe I'm being overly hard on myself, but I don't like that personality as much or that speaking style. But it's just a product of the way YouTube works and, trying to make sure your thumbnails get clicked on and trying to make sure that you don't drop people's attention 3 minutes through the video because you got boring for a minute or you talked a little bit too slow or you changed the subject for a second. And these are all just like really unnatural things. And to do all of that just to try to get views, get subscribers, get likes or whatever, which has never been the goal or the intention. It was just really to be able to reach more people. And that's why I care about that. It's not the vanity numbers I will never, ever care about, but I do care about the numbers are a proxy to something and they are a proxy to impact. And so I want to be able to reach more people and, make this bigger than just myself and what we have here. And so I started getting really discouraged because it was just so stuck. And, my channel grew a lot at the beginning and then it's just been trickling upward and upward with struggling to get any videos pushed out to new people for the most part. And I really feel like most of these YouTube standard things are just not normal and not good, like begging for likes, begging for all that stuff. It's just silly and I don't like doing any of that. But all of these things that I'm saying I don't like, the reason I do them and the reason I care is because I do want the channel to grow. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I think there's a lot of fun. I feed off momentum. That's just the way I work in business and in life. And if my growth was going crazy, then I'd be like, yeah, like I want to make this and this and this. But when it's been so stuck, every day I'll go to, like lately, honestly, almost going on a year now, I always have a huge list of videos that could, video ideas. And when the day comes that I want to film, I just feel like none of them are worth making. I feel like they're not interesting enough, or who am I to talk about this subject, or, it's just, it won't get any views. It doesn't matter. And if those things are true, then why is it worth my time to make it? That's just how I feel. I appreciate my audience so much. And I know this all comes across really negative and complaining, and I don't like that. But I just want to feel that if I'm putting these things in, I want it to have the impact that I hope it can have. A couple other thoughts that I've had is kind of back to the vlogging versus sit down style. Even when I've gone to like events, meetups with you guys or business conferences, those are great opportunities to make so much content, but it's me, like as myself, I think we're spending way too much time on social media. I think there's way too much content. So as I am making content, I'm very, very mindful of not wanting to waste people's time. On the other hand, I know that I want to be off of social media more, which means that when I'm actually in those situations, in the present with people, I don't like to just be thinking, how do I turn this into content? I'd much rather just be present and enjoy the interactions with people and all of that real life stuff, rather than just how do I force content kind of, it's just like a machine. And I don't know if you guys have watched Black Mirror on Netflix. It's a really good show. I don't watch that many shows, but if you're gonna watch a show, I'd say it's really good. A lot of the episodes have this kind of like technology, social media, future angle to them. And there's some episodes just about like, you know, rating your interactions with people and all of this future of social media stuff. And in a really weird way, this is gonna sound crazy. So if you think I'm crazy, you know, whatever, probably am. But I think YouTube, I think we're already there in a lot of ways. And, you know, to just like turn this camera on and like do this little performance just to try to, you know, hold people's attention and then get you to smash the like button and all those things. It does feel really weird sometimes, for sure. A couple more observations, particularly about like the business and entrepreneur space on YouTube. And I'm really talking broadly. I'm not talking about anyone in specific. And even people, even the thing I'm about to say, I don't even think these people did it on purpose in a lot of situations. But so much of this business content is preying on really young kids, which is weird. Like, you know, people that are selling courses or whatever, like, or it just kind of hypes up these 15-year-old crowd. And I've happened to build an audience that is definitely a bit more mature, higher age. Not to say that, you know, I mean, we have all ages, but the average is higher than probably what a lot of people in this space have as their audience. And it's just an interesting observation. But I think a lot of these channels that have grown so crazy, it's because these kids are like getting on the hype train of whatever they're talking about. And I don't want that. But at the same time, like, I do want to grow, and I feel, maybe this is just my ego, but I feel like I could be a good influence, maybe opposed to whatever else they might be watching. Also, consistency has always been hard for me. And, you know, comparing myself to other channels. If you were telling me this, it would be easy for me to give you advice. It's harder for me to take my own advice, but I do compare myself to other channels. And when I see these people that I personally know and their channels have just absolutely exploded, and, you know, some of them have taken really extended breaks, and consistency is one of the keys to YouTube. The longest I've ever gone is maybe approaching like 3 weeks without one video. And other than that, it was, you know, 1 or 2 weeks at the most between videos. At the same time, though, it's not like I've been perfectly consistent, you know, multiple videos every single week. It's been kind of all over the place, but I just feel like I haven't messed that up that much. It's also been weird is, you know, obviously my channel's for the most part been about Amazon. Ever since really the first video, though, I said I wanted to talk about a variety of subjects. Ever since the first video, I said I wanted to talk about a variety of subjects. But as it sort of takes off and builds its own, you know, it just becomes its own thing, you know, the audience kind of expects certain things. And that leads to me like not wanting to disappoint people, but also disappointing myself by feeling uncomfortable to talk about other topics. And that's something I still want to get over and branch out more. And yeah, just like the way this game works, you, as a creator, you feel this pressure to constantly be putting stuff out. But then as somebody that feels like the media is just already so flooded, I think the last thing people really need is more distractions. At the same time, I think putting something good, you know, if I can bring more awareness to something like that, then I do think that's worth watching and making. One last thing before some thoughts on, you know, just where we go from here is I posted pretty much the thoughts that I just said into a Facebook post and the YouTube community post a couple of days ago. And one comment in particular got like upvoted in the comments a lot, which leads me to think that a lot of people agreed with it, and I agreed with it. And so I kind of want to just read through that and kind of give my response. And by the way, I appreciate the comment. It might start off seeming a little bit negative, but I appreciate it. I think it's perfect. So this comes from Rocky12 Rolls Hard. And so thank you for this comment, but I'm going to read through and then sort of give my thoughts as well. And some of it I've already talked about, but you've literally been asking us for months what you could be doing better. Why is YouTube so important to you? Is it the money? I doubt that it's the money. So first thing is, I do ask a lot, you know, what do you guys want to see? What could I be doing better? Because I feel like the channel is serving you. You know, it's, you guys are the viewers, and I just always want to sort of keep my finger on the pulse of how you guys feel about it. I don't think that's a problem. Maybe I've asked a few too many times, but I don't know what it's like from your perspective. It's really weird, right? So I hope that you can empathize with that a little bit, but yeah, I just don't know how it comes across. And YouTube is important because I do enjoy this for the most part. This is obviously seems like I'm complaining in this video, but for the most part, you know, it's great. And I see huge potential in how much fun it could be and how many more great things it could lead to. It's already led to so many great things for me. So I already have proof of why it's important to me. As for the money, I never expected this channel to do anything. I mean, I had such low expectations. I didn't even expect, 100 subscribers or something. So we've blown away my expectations, and I'm grateful for all of that. As far as money the channel generates, I pay an editor basically a break even on that. Obviously, having the audience has allowed me to make money other ways, much more than I ever expected, much less than a lot of these channels that blow up, and that's fine. But you know, I'll be completely honest. If I started making $100,000 a month just on the AdSense of my YouTube videos, I'd focus. I mean, that'd be amazing. I'd probably, I don't know, travel more and just really focus on making videos and pursuing that as a thing. I mean, that'd be fun. Who wouldn't do that? So I think that'd be sweet. Man, just chill out. Your videos are super constructed, almost scripted. Sometimes that's a bad thing. Just pick up the camera and film your day. Talk about what you want to talk about. You're a smart guy. Yeah, I mean, that's what I used to do, but that is probably even more tiring than this. So, you know, I don't want to be playing the game of trying to talk a certain way, trying to hit all the points, you know, number one, number two, smash, like all that stuff. Like I might do that a little bit less now and just try to go back to talking like a human being. Not that I don't think it's been that bad, but it's definitely felt a bit less natural lately. But yeah, I mean, I think that's accurate. And you have too big of expectations on yourself in terms of YouTube. You're always disappointed. Yeah, I mean, I definitely address this. I just see the potential, and I just want to try. I don't know. That's just how I am. I guess I just see potential, and I want to try to get to it. And I just think it could be great. It is great, but it's just felt stuck. But the fact of the matter is two things. Number one, you don't produce enough content. You are inconsistent. YouTube algorithm hates that. As I said, yeah, I mean, I don't think I've done that terrible of a job at this. I could have done much better, no doubt, but I've seen channels blow up that took, 3 months off, 6 months off, a year off. I mean, it's just, it's weird, and I've never taken that extended of a break. And so I don't think that is the only problem. Number two, your passion for Amazon FBA is gone. You know it, we know it, everybody knows it. It's super easy to see. You want to move on, and most of us are here because of Amazon. So I'm definitely not done talking about Amazon. Amazon is still great. Something I definitely didn't anticipate was that, I mean, this seems so obvious in retrospect, but imagine talking about something so much. I mean, you definitely get tired talking about the same things over and over and over. And as I said, even in my very first video, I wanted to talk about more subjects. So I am a bit tired of dwelling on the same things. I do want to find new angles and new things to talk about it, but I absolutely admit that I want to talk about other things too. I think the way that you said it here is more extreme than it is. I'm not like never gonna talk about Amazon on YouTube again. It's not like that, but it's more just like, if you're being asked 1,000 Amazon questions in a row, and then somebody asks me something about something that I'm just super passionate and interested about, that perks me up, and it's just exciting to get to talk about something else, I don't know. I guess that's just how my attention span works. Love you, man. My best advice is to stop having any expectations of your channel. Relax, pick up the camera, and don't think too much about the value you're gonna give us. I'm telling you, man, if you do what I say, you'll start seeing results. I'm thankful for what you've given me. That's why I'm taking the time to write this. Have a great day. Again, thank you for this comment. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm even just throwing this out. I don't even know if or when I'll post this or why, but just felt like kind of opening up and saying some of the weird things I've been feeling with YouTube. So where we go from here is the same place. I mean, I think that, maybe I will work in some vlogs occasionally, but I never feel like it, to be completely honest. It's, it just kind of sucks to like wake up in the morning and just think like, oh, I need to like, make sure I'm filming like everything that I'm doing and just kind of like orchestrating this day to look good on film. So I do think the relatively more sit down style is more sustainable. Though I want to continue to work in more B-roll, and one of my favorite channels is Matt Diavella. His videos are basically mini documentaries. I don't have no idea how to make that, but that's what I would love. That's what I would love to be able to do at some point, is these powerful messages and, a storyline, where it's not just me sitting, but it's also not like a vlog where I feel like everything has to be documented. And as far as topics, I do want to expand. I'd love to talk about health and biohacking and other like habits and life optimization, lifestyle design. It's all the same to me. Business and Amazon has always just been a piece of that. It's always kind of surprised me that some people don't see it that way. So, if there's a video that shows up in your feed and you don't like it, you don't need to be upset. You can just simply not watch that video if you don't want to. But you might see me experimenting a little bit more. Just want to give a fair warning. For the most part, I mean, the immediate videos I have planned are completely in line with what I've been doing. And I think for the most part, that's basically going to continue. One big thing that I want to put out there, largely for the reason of you guys can hold me accountable for it, is I've been saying for like 2 years that I want to start an interview style podcast. And I want to do it to a really high standard. I want to do like 3-camera interview style, in-person, long form interviews, deep dives into a variety of topics. I won't get into that too much right now, and I want the main video to live on this YouTube channel. This is the Matt Loberstein YouTube channel. This was never the Amazon FBA tips YouTube channel. This was just me, and that's what it was supposed to be. And it is, but yeah, I want to do this podcast, and I have been meaning to for like 2 years. So I just want to kind of put it out there, so then you guys can be like, where is it? 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 If I don't do it quickly. And yeah, so I mean, people can anticipate that to be like a new sort of pillar of this channel. I mean, it's not going to replace anything. It's just, maybe that's an extra thing to bring more content to this channel, and hopefully that can kind of go off and do its own thing too over time. But yeah, I mean, that's it. I just wanted to sit down and do an honest sort of just vent, really. Talking to a camera is basically therapy. So no agenda for this video. This is definitely not one that's gonna get pushed or anything. So you don't have to click any of the stuff if you don't want to. That's it. I appreciate all of you, and see you next video.